What's going on, everyone, and welcome to episode 9 of the Captain's Corner Pod. So technically this is the first episode. I'm counting a couple of the season previews I've done as episodes because I just like having everything numbered. Makes it easy, it looks good, and that's how I like it. So that's what it is. But yeah, this is going to be episode 9 of the Captain's Corner, but it's really the first ever episode where we actually get into kind of news and really what it's going to be like for the season. Obviously, once the season hits, we'll have segments, we'll scores, betting corners, gambling corners, stuff like that, fantasy talk. But for now, it's really just going to be kind of just talking about news, a lot of it too. So yeah, but so no segments this episode. I'm still trying to iron out what segments I want, what ones are going to be fun, what can we kind of do as a group, as like a network. So I guess that's what we'll kind of discuss. But yeah, episode 9. Gone camping, I'm calling it, because NHL training camp is back. So it's going to be we're at finally here, the 2022-2023 NHL season, and I can't wait. It's been a long time coming. Feels like it's forever ago that Colorado won the Cup, and we've been waiting for hockey to come back, and it's finally here. Training camps kicked off. Guys had media days. Most camps started yesterday or the day before, and all of them should be full swing as of today, Friday, September 23rd. Kind of forgot to say that. Today is Friday, September 23rd, 2022. So kind of just to date these episodes, I'm going to try to kind of get into how it's going to work this season. Episodes will release every Monday and Friday. Each episode's going to be a little different. Obviously, every episode's going to cover games and the news from the couple days before those episodes. But then Mondays are going to have different segments. Fridays are going to have different segments, stuff like that, to kind of break it up and make it a little different every episode. So, yeah, that's how that's going to roll out. So all these episodes are going to be dated so you guys know kind of where we're at with the news. So that's what to expect from these episodes. Super excited for it. Can't wait to talk news, talk opinions, what's going on across the league, what I think about teams, what I think about players, and like just shoot your opinions back. That's all this is ever about, is to share our opinions. I'm always open to share. If you guys have something to say, share it with me. I would love that. That's what to expect from these episodes on Mondays and Fridays. I'm trying to crank out the season previews. Really struggling. They're a lot of work. Might start pairing a couple of the not so good teams together. Guess we'll see. But yeah, I gotta do it earlier next year. I've already talked about this on a different episode, one of the previews, but like next year, like I'll have this podcast full circle going. Like I'm gonna have my studio, my camera. I still don't have all that stuff set up yet. Kind of just rolling with the punches, kind of tweak it as we go, because hockey season's here already. But yeah, but like next year I have a whole off season and get all these. Like I can record 2 episodes every other day and be fine, and like save them up and release them. So that's what really I'm looking forward to. And so I will definitely do a better job of getting those previews out. 32 teams, 32 episodes next season. But this year, I'm just trying to rip through as many as I can. Maybe I might have to pair a couple of them together just to get them out, because I gotta get going here. The season starts in 14 days, guys. That's what we're talking about here too. It's 14 days from the season. That's why I wanted to get an episode out. It felt like right. Like training camp's back. There's quite a bit of news to talk about, surprisingly, which is kind of exciting. Some good, some bad. Quite a bit of bad, like injury talk, but just some cool, interesting stuff to talk about. And I can't wait to get your guys' opinion on it. Let me know in the comments. Let me know on social media. My DMs are always open. Socials are always on the screen, down in the description. And if you want to hear it in your ear, it's Caps Corner Pod. And so, yeah, shoot us a message on Instagram, Twitter. Always here to debate. Always here to talk hockey. Love it. Makes it world easier. Let's just talk hockey. Like, who cares? But yeah, we're 14 days away from the start of the NHL season. I believe opening day is October 7th, which is coming up fast. Oh my goodness. But I'm so excited. Can't wait. I know it's like a little bit of a gap because it's like the overseas games. And I did see it's San Jose, Nashville. And there's a couple days in between, and then we really get the season going here. So if you guys didn't know, I'm a Sabres fan, can't tell, but I'm talking. This is not going to be a Sabres podcast. Like, obviously, I'm probably know the most about them, but it's a hockey podcast. So NHL, junior, whatever you guys want to talk about. Mainly NHL, but like if I see some cool junior stuff, I'll share with you guys. Like I do just love the sport of hockey. So that's going to be that. I have Sabre season. So some Thursdays like might end up being some Friday episodes. I don't know. I can't decide when I'm going to release episodes. They will release Monday, Fridays, but I just can't decide time-wise. Mondays, because Mondays I'm going to film in early morning, so that episode probably won't be released till Monday afternoon. And then Fridays are going to be, I'm going to record Thursday night. If not, I can't, Friday morning. So it may be another scenario where it's like mid-afternoon Friday. But I do want to get it out so you guys can listen to it during the day on Friday. So kind of going back and forth on that. I'll try to share. I really want to set schedule, so I'll really get into that. But yeah, so that's what to expect from this channel. Kind of just talking shop. If you ever want to come on, join me. And figure out a way we'll do it. But yeah, so that's what's going on. Camp's full speed. Guys are back. It was great to see. I love scrolling through the social medias, seeing all the media day stuff, seeing like all the different stuff. I don't know, just fun to see the guys come back, see the pictures. I don't know, see the different new gear getting broken out. Like Philadelphia's going white cuffs on their gloves. So all sorts of stuff coming out, which is cool. Vegas going gray pants with their away jerseys. Their gold jerseys are officially their home. Carolina's their black or their home, and then they have released a new red ultra that's pretty similar, but it's retro in a spec. And then the reverse retros have been getting leaked slowly. We're kind of getting an idea what we're getting with those, but we still don't have the full list, still don't have the full design. Big excited to see what happens with those. But yeah, so basically let's start getting into some news. You'll see on the side there, there's our quick hit, like what we're going to, topics for the day kind of, and then down below, sometimes we'll be gambling, sometimes we'll be scores, all sorts of stuff. So it's kind of cool. I'm just trying to share as much as I can. Love having the info on the screen, kind of something to watch, not just looking at me. I'm not who wants to look at me? But yeah, so obviously this will get tweaked around, but that's what we got going on the screen. So first topic to start. Oh, there we go. See, there we go. First topic, retirements. So we had a couple interesting retirements happen the other day. Obviously it came out on the Spit and Chicklets podcast. Obviously everyone knows, if you listen to this, you know what Spit and Chicklets is. Let's be realistic, Jesus. But Keith Yandel retires after 1,109 games played in the NHL. Guy had the Ironman streak, crazy. Longest Ironman streak. He was bounced around the league a little bit. His last couple of years were a little rough. I don't know. Kind of maybe hung on to the Ironman streak a little too long. Kind of past his prime. Maybe like if it wasn't for the streak, he would have got scratched sooner. But great guy, great locker room guy. Everyone loved him. Original round 4 pick, 105th overall in the 2005 entry draft. He played, after getting drafted, he went to the Q. Then he played in the AHL. Played 7 games his rookie season in the NHL, then played in the AHL again second season, played 30 games in the NHL, 43 games in the NHL, and then this is where his Ironman streak started after this. 08-09. Yep, after 08-09 season, he played in 69 games, and after that his Ironman streak started where for over 1,000 games. He played 82 games, obviously a 56 thing because of 2021 because of COVID bubble, and 1920 was cut short because of COVID. But yeah, guy had a great career, 103 goals, 516 assists for 619 points, and he had 616 PIM. So big physical defender, great guy. Never really played top 2 minutes really on meaningful teams. Never got a cup. No major awards really, but like always a great guy to have around. Made some good money, and that was his career. But yeah, obviously it'd be interesting to see what happens with his career now that it's over. Obviously he's going to be, I picture him still being involved in hockey, media, maybe gets into some broadcasting, but that's where we go into the next guy. It's PK Subban, who was 100% going into media. I was kind of shocked by his retirement, honestly. I thought he was going to try to give it a year or two. He's only 33 years old, which is only, like, obviously it's so hard to maintain, play at such a high level at that age. But yeah, so he hung him up at 33 years old after 13 seasons in the NHL. 834 games played, 115 goals, 352 assists for 467 points and 905 penalty minutes. And after leaving Montreal, he was solid. I'll give him that. But I don't know. I don't know if he ever lived up to the hype that he had when he was a rookie in Montreal, if you get what I'm saying. I don't know, there was so much praise for him and stuff, and definitely he played well. He did play well. He stuck up for his teammates and stuff, but he kind of just, I don't know. I was kind of shocked at the retirement. I thought maybe it would have aimed for 1,000 games. Obviously, that's a big feat, and he was so 2 seasons away from that if he stayed healthy, which is a lot. And he must have something lined up. He's a big sports media guy. He's great in the media. Man, I would love to have him on one of those ESPN broadcasts or something to kind of just spice it up. They're just so dull, some of them, and it's not the greatest of those broadcasts. It's better, but I don't know. You need a fresh look, a guy that knows the trends, knows the league, and he can say it with fun ways, and he can spice it up. He's not afraid to mix it around a little bit, which is kind of exciting. So yeah, so he obviously Montreal Canadiens, his first half of his career, over half, got traded to Nashville. Obviously, Shea Weber goes the other way to Montreal, and he was never the captain or anything, but he played 3 years in Nashville, 3 years with the Devils. Last year, 22 points, 82 PIMs, got stuck up for a lot of the young guys, was a really good role model for them, obviously. So, yeah, be interesting. I'm excited to see where his career goes. Obviously, a guy I follow, love watching him, so he'll be a guy. Excited to see where he lands with the sports media and what is his next chapter. And then this brings us to the next major retirement. Zdeno Chara. Man, this guy, 45 years old, probably played a little too long, but maybe it's because of his size he played for so long. But yeah, 45 years old, the 6'9" guy, was drafted originally by the Islanders, finished his career with the Islanders. Obviously, he signed a one-day contract to retire as a Boston Bruin, where he spent pretty much his whole career. And he was obviously the captain, won the Stanley Cups there. So, yeah, Zdeno Chara, 1996 NHL. I wasn't even born yet, and this guy was playing in the NHL. Insane. But, yeah, he drafted by the New York Islanders, round 3, pick 56. Rookie season, played with the Islanders, played with the AHL, played his first 4 seasons with the Islanders. Played 4 years with Ottawa, and then that's when 06-07 season broke in with Boston and took over there, and this is where he played his whole career till 1920 as their heartbeat of their team, their captain, leading the way. Big Z, guy's a mammoth. So one of my favorite photos ever is him just with I think it was Gianna, one of the Buffalo Sabres guys, and it was insane, one of the pictures. But yeah, so Big Z retires. 1,680 games, so many games, 1,680 games. It's double PK, insane. That's so many games, so many miles on the body. 209 goals, 471 assists, for 680 points, and 2,085 penalty minutes. Obviously, he had quite a few penalties for the Islanders. He was always sticking up for his teammates and stuff. Obviously, being the big guy on campus, he could do that. But yeah, so that was Zdeno Chara. Big claps for those guys. Guys had awesome careers, all awesome defenders. It's kind of weird they all retired on the same day. But yeah, it's definitely gonna be weird seeing those guys not in hockey. I've always watched those guys play hockey, so. But yeah, so some exciting stuff there. Nextly, we're going to get into some injuries. So with training camp starting, obviously, they're talking about guys that aren't in training camp or who are there aren't participating. And so injury-wise, before we do that, we got to talk about payday. Sorry, jumping the gun here. Nathan McKinnon, the Nate Dogg, we all knew it was coming. He wasn't leaving Colorado, and he signs the biggest contract ever. I didn't think it was going to be higher than McDavid's. I thought it was going to be pretty close. I was predicting 11 mil, but yeah, he signs the biggest contract ever at 27 years old, an 8-year, 12.6 AAV deal. That's the total deal is $100.8 million, and 85.3 of it will be in signing bonus, and it's a full no move clause for the 8 years. Obviously, he's not going to leave Colorado unless it's like 8 years down the road they're in cap hell and he wants to go win another cup, but he's going to be Colorado Avalanche for life. We all knew this deal was coming. It was just a matter of time. If they did it now, they just probably wanted to get it done now before the season so that it's not raising questions, because you know how the media gets. They're going to get all the reporters. So, Nate, why haven't you got your deal done yet? Is there a little nervousness that you haven't got it done, like, just in the locker room that you haven't got it done yet? It's stupid questions. I hate those questions. So dumb. Like, obviously the guy wants to get paid, but he's not taking it out in the locker room because of that. Especially freaking Nathan McKinnon, dude. Like, so I'm glad they got the deal done before the season. Gets rid of those stupid questions. You don't have to deal with it all season. So, but good for him. He just earned it. He's put his time in. He took a team-friendly deal. Team-friendly as he's making $6 million, but obviously he's made a lot more early in his career. But he didn't. He took a team-friendly deal, got the cup, got the boys going, obviously. So, good for him. Unreal. So, I think it's $100,000 more than Connor McDavid's total deal. So obviously the highest paid deal. Obviously Connor McDavid will have more career earnings, and it's only going to ever, like, the next superstar is going to get the highest paid. It's only going to keep growing. It's like the same thing in the NFL. There's always the next highest paid guy, because the cap's going up. There's always a guy that wants more money, and it's always going to be that way. It's going to be the same thing in the NHL. You don't see as much in the NHL, but you'll see it in the NHL. So, but congrats to the Nate Dogg. Got paid. Don't know what you do with all that money, but it's insane. But good for him. He's earned it. All right, injury report. A lot of injuries to report coming out of training camp. Some interesting stuff here. It's kind of long, actually, and for an off season, like, I don't know, usually guys get healthy and stuff, and you're seeing guys out for long periods of time too now. All right, to start, we got Ryan Ellis. Might be out forever. It's definitely for the Philadelphia Flyers. I've seen reports today that it might be indefinitely. He's got like a pelvic injury. I don't know what that is. Pelvic fracture, but I don't know. So Ryan Ellis out for indefinitely, probably this season. Who knows? Sean Couturier for Philly also out 6 to 8 weeks with a back injury. So for a team that's not very good, they're just getting worse with all these injuries, losing a lot of veteran presence, which sucks for them. Obviously, Tortorella loves his veterans there. That can lead the way, and he's not going to have that. Marco Scandella for the St. Louis Blues, out 6 months with a hip surgery. He got hip surgery in the offseason, and he'll be out 6 weeks for that. So these are all injuries that have come out since training camp started. Like, obviously, there's so many more injuries. I just don't have time to get into them. But, so, yeah, Marco Scandella out 6 months. Timothy why can't I say it right now? I literally can say it all the time. Liljegren, I'm going to go with. Out 6 weeks with a hernia surgery. It was announced that he got it when they came to training camp. Obviously, he was on the ice, which is a guy that's expected to get top 6 minutes for them. But maybe with this opens up a door for Sandin to sign with them. Obviously, he's one of the RFAs that still haven't signed with Toronto, and he's with Toronto, obviously. So, obviously, they brought in guys. They signed Giordano. It's kind of interesting they're not giving their young guys a chance. And so, I don't know. It's kind of interesting to see what Dubas is doing with this team. Obviously, we'll get into it when we get into quick hits, when we talk about Dubas a little bit and his general manager, what's going on with there. Pierre Engolf, he's TBA with an injury. I think it's foot ankle injury on his return, so he's being reevaluated on October 3rd. Chicago's Ian Mitchell out 6 weeks with a wrist injury. So Chicago just gets worse. One of the guys they were trying to develop. And then Nolan Patrick is out for the season with concussion. His career might be over. It's sad to see. Obviously, we've seen Bowen Byram going through some stuff, concussions, mental health stuff, and seeing Nolan Patrick, 24 years old, out for the season because of concussions, and his career might be over. Obviously, never want to see that. It sucks, those injuries. So hopefully he can get better soon and be back on the ice eventually, but not looking great. So it always sucks talking about the injuries. Then Landeskog's out to start the season with a lower body injury, and who knows how long he will be out for. Guess I don't think there's any rush to get him back. I think they'd rather have him back at 100% than have him come back at 90% and re-injure it. They got enough depth on their team, but they'll be fine. So, yeah, that's the injury report. Obviously, don't like seeing the injuries, but they're part of sports. So that's the injury report. But next up, we got one of our big topics coming out of training camp news, and it's Starless. Obviously, Jason Robertson did not get a deal done this offseason, so he did not report to camp. He is not at Stars camp. He obviously led the way for them last year. The 23-year-old led the team in goals, and he had 79 points in 74 games. They said they're open to the Stars have released come out since training camp because obviously it's raising a lot of questions around the team, and they don't really great cap situation with their terrible contracts they have right now. So, he said the Stars are open to a long-term or bridge deal. They're expected to have $7 to $8 million in cap space, so I feel like that's not enough to do a long-term deal for Jason Robertson. I don't know, he's really been on the up and up for them. This is his third season with us, going into his fourth season with the Stars. Year one, played in the AHL mainly, put up 47 points, played 3 games in NHL, 1 assist. Year two, played the not the bubble season, I should say, but the shortened season, played 51 games, 17 goals, 28 assists for 45 points. So pretty solid for it was his rookie year. So pretty solid for his rookie year. And then last year broke out, obviously, with 79 points, plus 16, and he drove that team. He was a heartbeat of that team, him and Hintz, because they really don't have anyone else around them. Their big boys that they're playing aren't good. Sagan and Ben, they're paying those guys all this money, and they really don't perform for them at all. But let's take a look. On Cap Friendly, it's projected that they have $6.3 million in projected cap space. Obviously, they got Tyler Seguin for a very long time, 5 more years at 9.8. They got Ben 3 more years at 9.5. Joel Pavelski, 1 more year at 5.5. Mason Marchment, they signed to 4 years, 4.5. And then, so those are the big tickets up front. Miro Heiskanen has 7 years at 8.4. Esso Lindell has 3 years at 5.8. And then Ottinger signed 3 years, $4 million. So they're kind of hurting for Scott Wedgwood, 2 years at $1 million. And then obviously they have Goudovin, who's 1 more year at 3, but he's on LTIR. His career is probably over. And obviously they got rid of Ben Bishop's contract. But yeah, those top 2 contracts of 9.5 and 9.8 are really taking up a lot of space of money that could be given Robertson. Like, if you think about his production, his age, and with the trend the league is going now, that's what the guys are getting paid for, what they're going to do and not what they've done. And he's done it in 1 season, and he's obviously going to be their franchise if he ends up staying there for long term. But he's going to want more money than that. Guys are getting paid. He's not going to take eight years at $7 million, I don't think. So definitely something to watch out for, to see how long this drags out for into camp, what to expect with his deal, and kind of what's going to happen with the Stars, because Hintz is 1 year left at 3.1, and then he's an RFA, so he's going to be looking to get some money. So it's definitely gonna be interesting. You can't move these guys. Sagan and Ben both have no move clause, so it's gonna be interesting to see what happens with the Stars, what happens with Robertson. Obviously, he's going to play with. I don't see a way he doesn't play with the starters this year. It's just a matter of if it's a long-term deal or a one-year bridge deal to see if he wants to test the market or what he wants to do. Especially, it could be one of those situations. I don't know. I haven't seen much come out with Robertson, but maybe it's like one of those things he doesn't like the direction the team's going and doesn't want to sign long-term with them because he doesn't want to be stuck there playing for a crappy team with terrible contracts and never make the playoffs, never go for a deep playoff run. So, yeah, that's the big news out of training camp the last couple of days. No Jason Robertson in camp, the RFA. So now getting into quick hits, some just quick news I'm not really going to dig into. Just kind of some throw it out there if you haven't seen it. Bunch of PTOs this year. There's been so many guys signing PTOs. I thought Subban was going to sign PTO, didn't. But a couple guys that recently signed PTO. Sonny Milano, who was with Anaheim last year, had a great year. He signed with Calgary for a PTO. Obviously, they're hurting for cap space. For Jake Virtanen from Vancouver, signed with Edmonton for a PTO. Obviously, they're tight in cap space. And then Alex Galchenyuk, who's bounced around the league, also spent last year in Arizona, signed a PTO with Colorado. Maybe a guy they signed if Landeskog is out long term. Just to add some depth players. Nick Suzuki was named the Montreal Canadiens, or whatever you say. I can't. I'm not French. Can't say it. Sorry. Captain, 23 years old, so pretty young. But he's their team. I don't know. It's an interesting move. Kind of interesting in my opinion, but it'll be, I don't know, it's big shoes to fill with Shea Weber, obviously, but they're a team that they need to have a captain, in my opinion, those Canadian market teams. And he'll take a lot of pressure. So that's the only thing I was hesitant about that is like you're putting a lot of pressure on a superstar player who already has a lot of pressure. So definitely something to watch there, but I think they'll be a fun team to watch. Their goaltending's iffy, defense is iffy, but they got some cool forwards to watch. I love watching Gallagher, Caulfield, Suzuki, so that'll be fun. Then a couple RFAs recently signed. Barrett Hayton signed a 2-year extension. Barrett Hayton, in Arizona. Adam Ruzicka in Calgary signed a 2-year extension. Ryan McLeod signed a 1-year extension in Edmonton. So those guys all took like pretty close to the league minimum, like 800, 700K. But yeah, and then also talking on extensions, Kevin Adams of the Buffalo Sabres signed a multi-year extension with them after 2 seasons at the helm. They obviously like what he's doing there, the team, the culture he's instilled, so they signed him to. They didn't give the details, but just released multi-year extension, so which is good to hear. Which is kind of funny to talk about. The Leafs didn't give Dubas an extension, so I think it's a make it or break it year for Kyle Dubas. So that should be interesting to see, and we'll obviously get more into the Leafs talk later. But yeah, that's really all I got for quick hits there. Our new episodes Friday and Monday, guys. Be sure to listen. I'm super excited for Mondays and Fridays from here on out. And then sprinkle in some season previews when I can. But hockey season's here. We're 14 days out. I cannot wait. Follow us on social media so we can interact, talk, get some news. Won't really be sharing tons of news. Kind of just giving opinions, being like what's going on here. So be sure to follow us, guys. Check us out, and we look forward to the season. Can't wait to get it going. So catch you on the next episode, guys. Peace. Have a good one.